A double play to save the day and win the game. The Phillies take game one, and we're up in the NLCS 1-0. Welcome into PHLY Phillies podcast. It's a victory post-game show. Jamie Lynch, a.k.a. Towel Weaver, Renee Washington, Tyler Zulli. We've got a win. How many more?
7 more, Topper.
7 more, Topper. Let's go, Phillies! Woo! We're getting closer to tramp stamps. We're getting closer to the World Series. We're getting closer to the championships. Wow, it wasn't pretty at times, but the Phillies got the job done. Welcome in, guys. I see you guys are already booming in the chat. What's flooding in. Let us know how you're feeling. We can all breathe now. It was an exciting, incredible start for the Phillies. Zach Wheeler was wheeling and dealing. We'll get into the numbers in the breakdown. We had a drop off, hit a little bit of a wall, but Craig Kimbrell, the closer, coming in and helping to round out this win. Whew, Jamie, what a game.
Yeah, that was a pretty great start to the game. First pitch home run. We've talked about it, what it would do to that stadium. And then Bryce Harper, 2 batters later, said, yeah, that was a good idea. And, credit, we talked about it in the pregame show. Credit to Kevin Long and the Phillies in their preparation for, Zach Gallen. We showed the graphic earlier how many, first pitch home runs he's, led up this year. It was a great job by Tyler pointing that out. And apparently he was in the ear of Kevin Long because they were looking to jump Zach Gallen early on, and they most certainly did that.
Yes, they did. Listen, guys, it was a rough Sunday for all of us. And I know some of you actually tagged us on Twitter because after the Eagles lost yesterday, we wanted a nice Phillies win today. We got what we wanted. Great win. Definitely was, we saw a lot in that game, as you talk about, from the leadoff with Kyle Schwarber, finally getting the Schwarber bomb, which we talked about pregame, wanting and looking for, to Zach Wheeler, just completely steady throughout. And hit that like button, smash that like button, just like Bryce Harper smashed it out of the ballpark, and just like Nick Castellanos did, and Kyle Schwarber, and wow, 7 more, guys. We are 7 away, and that's with each game. It just sounds more. It's just more and more real. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's really inching towards a pretty palatable number there. 7 more really doesn't sound that bad. That was what a way to start. And we'll be down there tomorrow night, with our giveaway winner. I can't wait to step foot in that stadium again and feel it. I mean, that energy from a Schwarber home run to lead off the game, really, really encouraging to see him kind of come around. There was 2 guys that I thought let you down a little bit tonight, but we're not going to bring that up right now. Well, there's plenty of time to get into that. But Bryce Harper on his 31st birthday, 2 in the first inning like that. It's a shame, somebody else wasn't on base just to kind of pad that a little bit. But all in all, an awesome start to the game. Definitely got some tight sphincters late. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous as hell when Craig Kimbrell came in. But he got the job done, and that's why you went out and got him. It was a great deal. 1 year, $10 million. He's got big game experience. He knows how to handle those moments, and he's been emotionally a roller coaster for us fans, but the team believes in him. Rob Thompson believes in him, and he gets the job done again. So kudos to Craig Kimbrell for closing it out.
Yeah, the 3rd save of the postseason for Craig Kimbrell, and the Phillies remain unbeaten at home in postseason games at 6-0, I guess it is now. But this has been, for us, Craig, in that moment, you're holding your breath, you're nervous. The game the Diamondbacks bring the game within 2, and you're biting your nails a little bit more. You're clawing at your hair. You're like jittery. And for Craig Kimbrell to continue to show why he's one of the best closers, and in that moment steps up. He thrives off those moments. We've talked about it. Thrives off of those moments, and we saw Craig Kimbrell take care of business there too. So now 10 for 10 in save opportunities in the postseason. Craig Kimbrell, guys. Craig Kimbrell. When you need someone to come in and close things out, it is definitely Kimbrell that can get the job done for you. So welcome in everybody in the chat. Let's see what we've got. I know some of you guys are just a pulse check. We've got John Blaze. I guess when your team's done, you've got to continue to follow us, which is fun, I guess, for you. Julia, you're saying you hate when announcers hit you with the stats like Kimberly has never blown a postseason. I know. That was us too. Oh, Craig Kimbrell's never blown a postseason. He's 9 for 9 in postseason saves. We don't need that right now. Wait until after. I feel like you wait until after he closes out, saves, then you can bring up now he's 10 for 10. We don't need to have those types of jinx moments that are very, very nerve-wracking. But I know in the chat you guys are talking a lot about some of the scary moments. Don't worry. We all felt those scary moments too. We will get to them. But right now, birthday boy Bryce Harper at 31, the history that he made. And also, Bryce just became the 4th player in Major League Baseball history to homer on their birthday. So how about that? Happy birthday.
And in typical Bryce Harper fashion, Brian, whoever the hell is the on-field interviewer, I forget his name. It wasn't Brian Anderson. Whoever it was, asked Harper about that and said, "How was your birthday?" And he goes, "We got the win. That's all that matters to me." And, earlier I did a hit on our sister station in Phoenix, and they kind of asked about Bryce Harper, being the heart and soul of the Phillies team. And it really kind of is unbelievable. His OPS in playoff history now is like close to 1,100. He is just a bargain worth every penny they paid him and then some. He has completely changed baseball in Philadelphia in a major. Oh, Matt Weiner. Thank you, Joseph Heston. Yes. Or Matt Weiner. Yes. Mm-hmm. I always say Weiner because, as you know, Renee, I am a 12-year-old child. It's like Tom Brenneman. I'm never not going to say Thome. That's not Tom. You just spell it Thom. That's not Tom. Bryce Harper is he's changed the baseball landscape of this city in such a major way. I don't really know who to compare it to. Like, we were kind of lost before Bryce Harper, and Aaron Nola talked about it, like hoping to re-sign here because he saw the bad of it and now gets to experience the good of it. Mm-hmm. Well, Bryce Harper immediately brought the good to Philadelphia, almost instantaneously, whether he's placating about the fanatic or just talking about how much he loves it here. It really has changed all of our lives for the better. So thank you, Bryce Harper, for choosing us and wanting to be here. Yeah. And I love the celebration, as he was rounding the bases as if he's blown out the candles with the number 3. Bryce Harper is we're watching history, guys. And I think so many times in sports, we get caught up. Obviously, we're focused on 7 more wins and the World Series and everything, but he's very much an all-in dude, as you're talking about, Greg, but also, as you're mentioning, Joseph, a Philly legend. I know a couple of you said that. We're watching history right now and how Bryce Harper is playing that. We're going to be able to look back and say, I remember when, to our kids and our kids' kids. And so, in this moment, it's like soak it all in, just like he's soaking it all in, that we're watching Bryce Harper do historic things. And even for the Phillies overall, this team is absolutely brought in. I know somebody said that in the chat. This group is bought in. They are continuing to find ways to win games. And that's not easy to do at this stretch of the season when you have the lulls and you have the momentum kind of drop off. And you see the Diamondbacks, who were, after being held scoreless to the first 5, rattle off 3 runs in the 6th and 7th inning, and they close the gap, and now you're kind of nervous. And to continue to find ways to win this game, this is why we all enjoy watching this team. Nick Castellanos, 5 of 8 at-bats. Of course, that 8th at-bat was also a homer, so I'm stopping it there. I'm not counting after that. Suzanne Summers.
5 of 8 at-bats, home runs, and in those 5, there were 5 different celebrities that passed away to make that happen. But Nick Castellanos with 5 home runs in the last 3 postseason games. The only other player to do it, as was talked about on the broadcast, Reggie Jackson in the 1977 World Series. So
Cheltenham High's
we don't want to
finest.
continue seeing celebrities drop. But be careful out here. Be careful out here.
I mean, Suzanne Summers, shout out for the game. I guess it gave Castellanos the werewolf blood he needed to hit another home run. Whatever the hell happens with him and celebrity deaths, I don't know, but it's a thing.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, if anybody's
weird.
seen the movie Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage, where he
Wait,
was like,
you saw that?
the movie?
Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage?
You didn't see it?
I think the more common reaction is, wait, you saw that?
Wait, I love that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan. You didn't see that? All right, well,
Tyler?
drop in the chat if you've seen Ghost Rider.
Is that Marvel? Is that
Is
early
it considered
Marvel?
Marvel? It's Marvel-esque. So,
Okay.
I don't know why you're so surprised. First of all,
I thought that
I'm a
movie like
huge-
sucked.
No, you suck. Ghost Rider is like he gets powered up and charged up when people die, wasn't it? That was the,
I'll have to take your word for it.
he was like dead.
It's
and he was
27% on
dead.
Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's
Listen.
like pretty universally considered a bad movie.
Listen, he was
Eva Mendes, though, what up?
Yeah.
Is she in it?
Yes.
All right. I mean, I might watch 5 minutes.
Yeah, we love Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how much we love the fact that Nick, yeah, it is Nicholas actually. Nicolas Cage, Nick Castellanos, it's Ghost Rider, guys. He just figured it out. Wait, time out. Nobody else put that together, and I'm telling you, nobody else put that together. When did that movie come out?
Patrick Glynn in the chat agrees with you. He liked it.
Nicolas
2007.
Cage. Guys, if you haven't
Ghost
seen
Rider's
Ghost
awful.
Rider, okay, Ghost Rider was a reach. Nicolas Cage has had some reaches in the movies. That's not the point here. The point is connect the dots. Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage, Nicholas Castellanos, Ghost Rider, celebrity death, whatever you want to call it.
And my cousin Martian Lynch says,
I feel like
ironically, Ghost Rider's name was Johnny
It's
Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. And we've got
Oh
a
my
Johnny
God.
Blaze in the chat.
Life's a circle.
He's Nicolas Cage, his character.
Johnny Blaze?
It's based off of him.
You think Johnny Blaze is actually...
No, Nick is not Ghost Rider. I just got very excited. John Blaze is Liam's account. That's what Eugene is cracking the code a step further. Oh, Green Lantern. Now we're just...
No. Not talking about Green Lantern.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's bring it back. Wow. Listen, guys.
Talk about Harper.
Listen, guys. We know how to go off the rails a little bit. So I'm gonna bring you all back. Bring you back to Jamie.
I just can't believe you said you've never seen Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
I've seen a lot of Nicolas Cage movies, even the bad ones. I like movies, guys. I like movies. Okay,
I like this Phillies movie.
let's get back. Frank, don't sign off because we're talking about Ghost Rider. We're getting back. The point is that Nick Castellanos, this is really what I was trying to get at, similar to Ghost Rider, thrives off of death. That was Ghost Rider.
I guess.
So it is literally Nick Castellanos, and in a historic performance of 5 home runs in 3 postseason games, Johnny Blaze, a.k.a. Ghost Rider, a.k.a. Nick Castellanos, tied a postseason record with Reggie Jackson in the 1977 World Series. Wow.
Yeah, and to see Nick Castellanos go yard to right field just shows you he is locked the F in right now. He's just taking when his swing is like locked in like it is right now, it's a thing of beauty. It's just a pure baseball swing. And to see him go to right field tonight was super, super encouraging. Castellanos was great. Schwarber, good to see him come to life. Harper, you can always rely on. Unfortunately, Stott and Bohm are kind of killing you a little bit. It was great to get the win tonight. A lot of men still left on base. I was shocked that the Diamondbacks stuck with Zach Gallen as long as they did. It kind of seemed like they were going with I don't want to say giving up, but the pitch count was low for them, and they were just like, all right, well, we don't want to burn our bullpen in game 1. Phillies aren't really busting this open yet. Might as well stick with Gallen for a little bit longer and see what we can get out of him. And the strategy, for the most part, paid off for them. they kept that within range and still a game. So credit to them for that strategy. I thought it was crazy at the time, but kind of worked out a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Just like Lisa's saying, it kind of works out, always works out that we just go off in some crazy directions. And I'm glad we can at least bring you guys some laughs. But when you look at that moment, I felt like with Gallen falling off at the wheels and things going terribly for the Diamondbacks, we loved it. I mean, on our side, it's like, sure, keep them in, struggling. I mean, the first 3 innings, you give up 4 runs. Sure, we like that math. That math is mathin'. But I felt like in that moment, I know I tweeted out and some people were kind of saying similar things, was like, this is a moment of them waving the white flag. They were scrambling in the bullpen of trying to figure out, it seemed like they didn't know who to go to next. Nobody was even warming up. And it kind of felt like they were already looking forward towards game 2 in that moment of like, well, we dug ourselves in a hole. We're down 4-0, then down 5-0. And, we'll try again tomorrow. Now, obviously, it's the playoffs. I don't think anybody's giving up. So I'm saying that in a hypothetical somewhat way. But it just kind of felt like they didn't know what to do and couldn't figure out how to make a decision. Now, we on our side, I'm going to say, bailed them out a little bit because after the 5th inning, JT helps with an RBI, and we're up 5-0, and then we hit a wall in Zach Wheeler's final inning that he pitched. That's when we saw him give up the 2 runs, hits. Prior to that, Zach Wheeler had gone on a 15 straight pitches of not giving up a hit, and then it all turned for the worse. So I do think it felt like originally the Diamondbacks were kind of stuck and didn't know what to do, but then the Phillies had opportunities, bases loaded, or runners in scoring position. It was at least 13 runners that they were left in scoring
my last
position.
note,
That's the last number I had.
13 left on base.
So we on our side bailed them out a bit because rather than continuing to pummel them and score runs after the 5th inning, we were held scoreless. And that's how we closed out the game. So I like the fact that we were able to squeeze out the win. I don't like the fact that it was such a tale of 2 games in that sense.
Yeah, you wasted the opportunity with Trey Turner getting a leadoff throwing error to second base there, and you just kind of had some hard hit balls that weren't going in play. The one encouraging thing that led to an out late was Johan Rojas smoked the ball, and the advanced analytics on that hit said that ball expected batting average off the bat was 690, which nice. But he should have been. That's just a great play. But Ketel Marte is an awesome baseball player. So is Corbin Carroll. So it was, it's nothing's easy in playoff baseball. But a couple balls were hit hard. Rojas was coming around on them late. Somebody in the chat was asking about Zach Gallen. Yes, he is a Bishop Eustace kid. Mm-hmm. And they asked what year. I believe he graduated in 2013. I was just trying to look it up. 2014 and 15, he pitched at North Carolina and then went after that. So, yes, Bishop Eustace kid. And Christian Walker went to, I read this earlier today. He's from Norristown and the high school he went to. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They went down 1-0. Somebody in the chat said, I think the crowd got to Gallen. Certainly possible. Yeah. I mean, that place was loud. They started chanting, Gallen, Gallen. I think Citizens Bank Park is going to get to most people because it's so unlike every other baseball stadium.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why the Phillies are undefeated at home in the postseason, especially because we take things up a notch, and the decibels, 111 decibels.
Kennedy Kendrick, that's what Walker was. Yeah, 111. I think that was the Harper home run.
Yeah, off of Harper's home run that the ballpark was scored at. I mean, everybody is just cheering on their feet, making sure that you hear them, and they showed out today. I'm excited to see it tomorrow in person. But, overall for the Phillies, that's what has helped tremendously of having the ballpark have your back, that when you have those lulls, it's Jose Alvarado on the mound, or even when Sir Anthony was struggling, Craig coming in late, that the ballpark's going to continue to just kind of rally behind you. And we needed some rallying today, guys. We definitely needed some rallying because the troops kind of seemed like they flatlined a little bit, need a little resurgence. So I'm glad that Citizens Bank Park was able to help make a little bit of a difference. But yeah, Zach Wheeler, who we haven't even had a chance to talk about as much yet. Zach Wheeler, 8 strikeouts, didn't start giving up hits until the 6th inning, essentially. Gave up a hit in the first and then 15 straight pitches, straight batters, without giving up a hit. And Zach Wheeler, if you look at game 2 against the Braves and you look at tonight, this is why we love Zach Wheeler. This is why Zach Wheeler is the best pitcher in baseball right now, because in big moments, Zach's not giving up, forget runs, not giving up hits. And the numbers that have been put out, it's just remarkable to watch. We're talking history with Bryce Harper. We're watching history with Zach Wheeler also right now.
Yeah, he was spectacular. You know, the lead-up single gets let up to Corbin Carroll there, and I'm not gonna lie, I just went, oh shit. Is this finally the bad Zach Wheeler performance? Not that I've been expecting, but you know, he is human. Maybe not when you see some of these numbers where Zach Wheeler ranks in MLB history. Here's one for you: lowest career Major League Baseball postseason WHIP. Which, if you're not a baseball nerd like Tyler and myself, which is walks and hits allowed per innings pitched, with 40 or more total innings pitched. This is wild. Zach Wheeler now has the lowest in Major League Baseball history at .695. Mariano Rivera, this guy, pretty good closer for the Yankees for a long time. You know, a lot of people say the greatest reliever ever. He's second at .759, then Kenley Jansen, and then this guy named Sandy Koufax. So that should put into context a little bit more of how great Zach Wheeler has been. And we talked about it briefly on the postgame show. It almost feels like nationally he's still somehow underrated.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable, because every opportunity this guy has had in Philadelphia, he's taken the torch and ran with.
Yeah, and now top for lowest WHIP by any pitcher in Major League Baseball postseason history with a minimum of 5 starts. And across that list is a lot of similar names: Roy Halladay, Sandy Koufax. So, you know, Zach Wheeler has shined brightest in the biggest moments too. You know, this is our ace. This is our pitcher we can count on. I know, Greg, you're saying Wheeler's the goddamn man. I mean, yeah, it is without a doubt comforting. Greg. When you see Wheeler on the mound, you feel safe. I hate to say that. It's cheesy. There are some pitchers right now, sadly, that when they're coming in, you're like, holy crap, what are we going to get today? Zach Wheeler, you know Zach's going to be able to get himself out of things. You have trust. In Zach, we trust. And today, Zach Wheeler in the 6 innings pitched was steady, was phenomenal. 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, as I mentioned, 0 walks. You know, Zach Wheeler is such a big boost, and that's why you're able to go up 5-0.
Yeah, since we're on the Zach Wheeler stats porn category of the evening, I'm just going to read another one for you, because anytime your name is next to Bob Gibson in the annals of baseball history, you're doing pretty well. Yeah. So Zach Wheeler now has 26 strikeouts with his 8 tonight over the first 3 starts of this postseason. That ties him for basically 15th in baseball history, with the likes of Max Scherzer twice, who did it with Detroit back-to-back years, Josh Beckett, who was a damn machine for the Red Sox back in the day, and this guy named Bob Gibson. So 26 strikeouts over 3 starts. He said it when the lights are brightest, he shows up. And Renee, you know what I do when the lights are brightest? I put on my Shady Rays. Because right now, Shady Rays has got an awesome deal going on for you. If you buy 2+ pairs using code PHLY, you'll get 50% off. I've had Shady Rays in the past. I have family members that use Shady Rays, and it is an awesome time. So gear up for the season ahead. Winter, there's a lot of bright spots out on the road. You need some Shady Rays, and they're built to last. They have you covered with premium polarized shades and quick swap snow goggles that won't break the bank. So for you ski bunnies and what do you call the ski dudes?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers an unrivaled product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. And no BS, I'm done with the expensive pairs. I'm just a Shady Rays man now. Durable frames and world-class optics for all your outdoor activities. And if you're into winter sports, the quick swap snow lenses switch easily from full sun to low light. Don't let changing light conditions slow you down on the slopes when all you need is your Shady Rays snow goggles. I just ordered a pair of Timber Classics that I can't wait to get for the car. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear, and this is why they're phenomenal. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost or broken replacements. You lose a pair, Shady Rays has got you. You screw up a pair and you get the frame scratched and something breaks, Shady Rays has got you. If you lose or break a pair, even on day one, they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. So wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after the purchase. So check that out. Code PHLY if you get 2+ pairs right now, 50% off. Boom.
Oh boy, no questions asked.
Did I say asked? I mean, I don't think you needed to point that out.
Well, I was already laughing because I think it was
Ski bums?
You were about to go snow bunnies, and I was getting really nervous. That's why I said I don't know.
Ski bunnies, snow bunnies, whatever, same thing.
No, we don't want to bring in snow bunnies.
What's snow bunnies? Huh? What's going on here?
I don't know. I mean, I don't Google it.
Snow bunnies? Oh, God.
And we'll move on while JV's learning, guys. Yeah. So, okay. I don't even know where to pick up from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's not what I was thinking at all. But yeah.
No. Okay. It's fine.
I had to go to Urban Dictionary.
A really touching point. I want to switch. I want to switch into a much more serious point, which is a really weird transition out of that moment of me making fun of you, is Jose Alvarado and what they were talking about in the broadcast about how, for as much as we love these moments, how sad it is for him to not have his family here. He's got a 6 and a 10-year-old. His family's from Venezuela. They were talking about in the broadcast.
It's such a weird time in the game to bring that up. Like, they brought it up. And granted, you only have a small window when he's in. But then Brian Anderson back in the booth was like, great story. Okay, back to action.
And they just completely moved on. And I was sitting over there like, who's cutting onions? Because my immediate thought is, how we have been loving seeing Nick and Liam and seeing, Bryce with his 2 and Bryson and his pregnant wife and Trey and his little ones. Like, we've been loving seeing all of them with their family. And then to see in that moment to just quickly throw that story on us. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then I got to thinking, well, realistically, how many other players are unfortunately dealing with the same thing where you're dealing with green card issues and you don't have your family here? And it was heartbreaking to see, we have torn Jose Alvarado to shreds at times. And then to see what Jose Alvarado's dealing with, it was just heartbreaking. So not to just drop a very somber topic on there, but, it just makes you respect a player like Jose that much more to see how much he's dealing with personally, that you always see the same Jose. The only time we've seen him a little bit different is in the clubhouse when he's got these bottles of tequila. That's about it. Otherwise, we see the same Jose, the same demeanor and everything is always Jose Alvarado. So yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to Jose Alvarado and his family. Everybody else dealing with this.
I mean, to say all last year, you saw everybody celebrating with their family members.
You don't have your family there.
That's just.
I'm a big family person, and I know you are. We all are. So, even that part made me that much.
My
that
makes
overrated. Me root for you that much more, Jose. Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. And by the way, who was it? Ken? Somebody. I'm not drunk. I'm just happy. God, why does everybody think I'm hammered every postgame show?
I thoroughly enjoy the fact that everybody thinks I'm drunk. Everybody literally thinks Jamie's drunk.
I mean,
and always thinks that I'm very sober, and I have been, but
I'm not drunk. I don't know why everybody thinks I'm drunk all the time. What does that say about me?
I mean, just having a beer here doesn't make you drunk.
No, this is quite tasty too. But yes, no, I mean, I had a beer during the game, and this is my second. So, I'm not drunk, but,
Yeah,
I guess
definitely.
I guess that doesn't speak too well to my existence if everybody just thinks I'm drunk all the time.
Greg says you're not drunk right now.
Sir Anthony might make me drunk if I have to sweat out some more innings of him in these postseasons. Because man, Kimbrel makes me like nervous. Sir Anthony makes me like want to do paces around the room and just walk in circles.
And I'm always rooting for everybody on our team. I want everybody to do well, and it just pains me to see Sir Anthony. Then they have flash at him in the dugout. He's looking all defeated. Alec Bowen, the same thing. We'll get there in a moment. But I'm like, just like everybody else, come on, Sir Anthony. Come on, Sir Anthony. Come on, you can do it. And he just makes you grow gray hairs, honestly, and makes you scared, and you're doing the, like, watch between the fingers because you don't know what's going to happen next. So as we talk about Zach Wheeler being the guy you can always count on and trust, and you know what's going to come with Zach Wheeler at the mound, we cannot say the same about Sir Anthony Dominguez. And tonight was very, very scary, especially the play to Bryson Stott on second that Stott missed. You know, those types of plays, we cannot have those. You talk about missed opportunities. We cannot have mistakes and things at this point in the season. So, oh, no.
Rick Morse in the chat says Kelsey was slamming beers at the game trying to forget yesterday's pain. Fair point. I think we all were. Ken said Jamie, zero hate from me because I'm drunk right now. So let's go. Tony the Tiger is drunk on Frosted Flakes. I believe we call that a sugar high, Tony. Mm-hmm. They're great. But yes, Sir Anthony, solid. I saw somebody earlier say Sir Anthony fuels my alcoholism. He is quite nerve-wracking. Not going to lie. But another plus of tonight was, a pretty manageable bullpen session from everybody. It was mostly just an inning from Sir Anthony, from Jose, and from Craig. So nothing that they can't go again tomorrow night. And then hopefully with a day's rest, you would hope be all available again on Thursday, assuming they don't get, absolutely worked tomorrow night.
Yeah. And that's where.
So that's a big plus.
That's where even for the bullpen specifically, you saw the Diamondbacks kind of. A lot of teams don't have the depth that the Phillies have. And we were even talking like, okay, wait, if you're taking Gallen out, who's next for the Diamondbacks? And seemed like they weren't sure either. We don't love Sir Anthony being brought out, but you've got a number of pitchers that can get called up, different relievers to come in, and you can hold your breath for some of them, but for some you're like, okay, I'm confident in this guy. I know somebody mentioned Orion earlier. There's the list goes on of Hoffman, different names that you can bring in, Craig Kimbrel as a closer, Jose, that you do feel comfortable in. So Sir Anthony got out of it. We survived, but it was definitely a very scary stretch. But overall, this bullpen, I still feel very optimistic. It's nothing like I was feeling about a month or so ago with the bullpen issues, because we're in a better place now. We're in a better place. It's less than an inning that we had of a very scary moment versus what it was before. I'm
not going to lie. Prior to the game tonight, I did have that oh no, Diamondbacks are young, stupid, 1 through 4. They have 2 good starting pitchers. I started mentally preparing myself for the worst. I did. I'm confident the Phillies are going to win, but the Diamondbacks, I didn't want to take them lightly. So mentally I started putting up my guard and preparing for it. And then that first hit happened. And then, Zach Wheeler shut them the hell down. Zach Wheeler has only allowed multiple base runners in 2 of 16 innings this postseason. This dude is on another level. Hopefully Aaron Nola takes that torch and continues running tomorrow. Because if you go up 2-0, this series is over.
Yeah.
If the Diamondbacks can't win games on the backs of Gallen and Merrill Kelly, who's going to be going tomorrow night for them, they have no shot. So they desperately need a split. Merrill Kelly has had a great year, a more consistent year than Aaron Nola. But for the Diamondbacks to do anything, they need to win on those guys' nights on the mound. And if you go up 2-0 on them early, I think that's just a recipe for lights out.
Yeah, and I don't see this series splitting tomorrow, to be honest. I know I talked about it on the pregame show. I wholeheartedly believe that this series is going back to Arizona 2-0 Phillies.
I kind of feel that too right now.
Yeah. And I do think that the Diamondbacks will win a game or two on their home field. I don't imagine it being a sweep, because this is a very, you talk about young, stupid, but just in general, a team that doesn't really have the pressure. You know, there's a dangerous, scary team at the times. And so I'd absolutely imagine that we're going to see 2-0, and then, you know, from there, we'll see what happens. But, you know, looking at the way that the Phillies were able to play today, much like a little bit of what we saw in game 2 against the Braves, it never to me felt like, holy crap, the Diamondbacks are playing really well, as much as I felt like the Phillies have just dropped off a peg. And so I think that's one of the most encouraging things to me. It's not they're taking over the game, they're making big plays, as much as it felt like the Phillies just kind of dropped off in energy, intensity, couldn't score runs, couldn't get hits even with runners in scoring position, and veered away from what was working. So I like the fact that so far in the postseason, it's been more about when the Phillies are playing well, we're locked in, you know, we're scoring, we're not giving up hits or runs, and when the Phillies drop off, we're beating ourselves. So I think that's why I'm most confident that we're gonna go up 2-0. Aaron Nola obviously getting the start. Because I think the Phillies are the ones that are really dictating the tempo. It's like what we are the ones in control of this series. And the only way that the Diamondbacks will win a game, in my opinion, is if we're not performing to the level that we know the Phillies can play at.
Oh, nice. Dr. Nighthawk, who love your support. She said she was just in the PHNX postgame show, our sister station out there. And as Eugene Krabs is wondering, I wonder how the sexy voice dude from earlier, and that's Derek out in Phoenix, is feeling about his Diamondbacks in 5 pick. Well, Dr. Nighthawk confirms that they're not doom and gloom over there in Diamondbacks land. They oddly feel good about tonight, even with the L. Okay. The Philly, I would be terrified, honestly, because Schwarber, Stott, Bohm. Schwarber came around. Stott and Bohm need to come around.
Yeah.
But everybody else is mashing. And I believe that is, if my note is correct, 16 home runs for the Phillies in the playoffs so far.
16.
And so the himbos are mashing. And that is not a good recipe for success. I know you got kind of some sustained life there with Gallen able to give you, those 2 extra innings and keep his pitch count low. But the fact Castellanos, Harper, and Schwarber went yard, if those other guys come around, it's lights out. And you better do it with Merrill Kelly tomorrow, or you really don't have a shot at this.
Yeah, and that's what was the drop off. Even bottom of the batting order, we saw Marsh was able to get a hit. Rojas just kind of gave what we expect them to do. But it has really been, especially with Bohm, that's where we're seeing the Phillies unable to get a hit. Look, I'm not expecting, to have grand slams or, hit home runs every time. Obviously, that is what we do best in Philly. But when you have runners in scoring position, just keep the inning alive. And to see Bohm getting outs and struggling, like that has been the Achilles heel right now of the middle of the batting order kind of being wishy-washy. So that's why I would be very concerned, because it's not the Phillies getting, I don't feel like it was the Diamondbacks outplaying the Phillies at any stretch of the game. I definitely felt like it was the Phillies just struggling and defeating themselves in those moments. So yeah, I don't know. I think they should, maybe they're definitely a different fan base, as Marsh and Lynch is saying. It's a little different out there.
Well, it's a transplant city.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's made up of 30% Philadelphians.
Yeah. It is.
And there's so many Philadelphians.
Every time I've been out there, I swear I meet more people in Philly, from Philly than I do when I'm in Philly.
I have at least 3 family members that have settled out there.
Yeah.
So yes, we go there to warm up from our winters and transplant out there. Taking a quick look at the DraftKings line for tomorrow night. The Phillies right now are a -162 favorite on the money line. Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks come in at +136. And honestly, probably a little bit steeper than I would have guessed. I probably would have guessed Aaron Nola in that -150 range. So I'm gonna chalk that extra 12 points up to the Citizens Bank Park effect, and just justify it that way in my head. But that's an encouraging sign to me. I think Aaron Nola is going to he's going to answer the bell tomorrow night. And, you know, he talked about, I think it was yesterday, wanting to remain a Philly, and he hopes it's something that they can work out, and he loves it here. And you just kind of get that sense from all the guys on the team, like they all sort of know and appreciate what they're going through right now. And, you know, I saw people in the chat saying this team is so locked in, so locked in. Yeah, because it's a relentless lineup. Like with the Diamondbacks, you have to kind of worry about 1 through 4, maybe 5. Perdomo got Wheeler tonight on a mistake pitch. But like you kind of get like a little bit of break in the Diamondbacks lineup 5 through 9. You don't get that with the Phillies through 7. And when they all are playing on this extra level and love each other and love it here and know this is special, you do have a lock the hell in team.
Yeah, and you know where else you can get a break? Game Time app. The Game Time app's the place to go. If you want to hang out with your friends, go buy some tickets to a game, a concert, you can go to the Game Time app, use that code PHLY, get $20 off of your purchase. There are playoff tickets there. There are hockey tickets for the start of the NHL season. A lot of tickets that you can purchase on the Game Time app, again, using that code PHLY to get $20 off. And as we're talking about being locked in, I do feel that too, Jamie. Like this team, everybody's got something different that they're playing for. Obviously, we're all playing for a title, without a doubt. But the motivation of, you know, guys that have been here before, guys that have, you know, they're fighting for their future, their contracts, guys that don't want to have that same feeling of last year of falling short, that does fuel you differently versus just being bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, happy to be here. So that maturity, that experience, that taste of almost, you know, that haunts you and it drives you to want to get back and get further. So when you look across just how everybody's been performing and just stepping up for each other, that's why we see them rallying around each other, very selfless, always cheering for each other. You know, they've got the team, the go-to moves that they're doing, that they're always just cheering each other on and keeping each other locked in, because it's always that next play mentality of like, even if you make a mistake or whoever's name gets called, let's make sure the next play is better. So I honestly think that's why when we look at this group, you don't ever really feel nervous, because you know this is a group that's going to continue to fight and claw and grind out plays and find ways to win games. And that's what they've been doing, especially at home. And that's what's been so fun to watch now tomorrow, with us being able to watch them, obviously in person at the ballpark, but made it so fun to watch them when they're playing in the postseason games.
Yes, Ken, at the parade, we can most certainly get drunk together. I will just sleep on the couch out here in our lovely offices. And earlier, Vince was in the chat asking me where the tattoo's going to go. It's going right on the ass cheek. I've already made that decision.
There it is.
So, Tyler, do you know where yours is going to go? Right calf for Tyler. I think I looped my brother-in-law, Patrick, into this. So he'll come up and get tatted up. And if any of you diehards want to get tatted too, if you want to get the Attaboy Harpers or... And I forgot, I told you guys this during the show, my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, gave me one of these in the car this morning on the way to school.
Parenting done right.
And I don't even think I taught her that. Maybe she's seen me do it. I think she just picked it up.
She's been watching.
From the Phillies doing it. Yeah. So, like...
You never know who's watching. Well, like I was saying, I feel like there is a way...
I think left cheek, John. I think I'm decided on the left.
I think there is a way to make it like a fun thing. Like, it's not, you
juggling
know,
baseballs?
Yeah, it's like, woo! Like, you can change up the movements a little bit more and make it more innocent and child-friendly, but
yeah,
you never know who's watching.
It's a pretty great celebration.
It's a great celebration.
It's the Pedro Serrano. It's awesome.
It is awesome. And it's great how they even were talking about coming up with it, like playing golf and trying to figure out some celebrations they can do. And it just like naturally evolved that they decided to go with the cojones. But
Just got a text.
Oh.
Dad says he's in on the tattoo as well.
Tyler's dad will get a tattoo if they win the world.
Breaking news, guys. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Breaking news. This just in. Tyler Zulli's dad said he also is going to be getting a tattoo on the show. The list is growing. Now,
7 more,
as
Topper.
I like to keep clarifying, I am not getting a tattoo. I'm going to be the one that's driving the show. Of course, you will be too, but you'll be getting tatted. And
right
then
on the ass.
Tyler and Tyler's dad, Papa Zulli, and
I'm gonna go
cousin
with this.
Lynch.
I'm gonna go with this P right here, like the old school Phillies P. because that's my favorite one.
If you guys want to get tatted with the crew,
Yeah, we'll have to work something out with a local
know.
tattoo artist, but I don't see any reason why we can't get some of you nut jobs up here with Papa Zuli getting tatted up.
Papa Zuli getting tatted.
Yeah.
We're getting some ink up in here.
It's a family affair.
It's becoming a PHLY ink crew, basically.
All from a stupid saying before the playoffs started. Tyler started this.
Tyler did start this.
I had a couple beers one night and said, yeah, screw it. I'm with you. And, Renee, I said it last series, and I think it's I said it and believed it, but now I really believe it. That game 3 versus the Braves, I thought was their World Series.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm processing what I'm reading in the chat. Yeah. The tattoo I'm going to get? Oh, no. Oh! Guys, you can't tell me you don't see the resemblance.
I have not seen the movie.
Storylines. Okay, everybody go watch this movie.
I don't think you should encourage people to do
Ghost
that.
Rider. You don't have to finish the whole movie.
It sucks.
You don't have to finish it. Just watch at least the beginning, or the trailer. It's fine too. Just
Wait, where does Nicolas Cage rank amongst your favorite actors?
He's definitely not up there for favorite actors, but he's just in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage
most
is
of
in
them
tons
bad.
Of movies. Like, what was that National Treasure movie?
Yeah, Con Air's a classic.
Oh, what's that hotel one where Hotel 17 something? I don't even know. No, don't do me like that.
Ghost.
There's a hotel
You haven't seen
movie.
Ghost Rider starring Nicolas Cage?
I wanted to comment on people. Wow, I just typed in. I'm not typing in words. I don't know what I just typed in.
Yeah. So
Take over. 1727. I told you 17 something.
I have no idea what that means. You're just saying these words.
Oh wait, that's not the name of it. Oh my gosh, come back to me. Take it over. Go. Speak words. Speak. Blah, blah. Phillies win.
Baseball.
Blah, blah.
Jose Alvarado throws ball hard. Kyle Schwarber. By the way, Kyle Schwarber off the bat. Are you talking about The Rock? Big Mike wants to know. Not The Rock.
Wait,
Alcatraz.
How did I get them confused?
What is going on here?
I know The Rock.
Anyway,
I
Kyle
know
Schwarber
Dwayne.
tonight, 117 miles an hour. Martian Lynch said Hotel Rwanda. You guys are out of control.
Oh.
You're out of pocket.
No.
117 miles
Impressive.
an hour off the bat tonight from Kyle Schwarber. That, as somebody in the chat said, is an absolute piss missile. Did you find this stupid movie that probably sucks because 80% of Nicolas Cage's catalog sucks? What do you got? Does this movie exist?
I don't know. There's so many.
Are you doing
of them.
ayahuasca?
I'm going down a rabbit trail here.
Are you into hallucinogenics? Like, what's going on over here?
I'm on a delirium because I'm so excited.
Yes, Dr. Nighthawk, I hope you bet the Schwarber home run tonight.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, and most of them are terrible.
He was in Time to Kill. I forgot about that one. Oh, man. We're just going to have a Nick.
No, we
segment.
don't. I don't think there's...
Oh, he was in The Rock. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Con Air.
Yeah, those are the only two good ones. Actually, leaving Las Vegas is not bad.
Okay. I'm sorry,
We're leaving
guys.
Arizona?
I'm so sorry.
What the hell was it?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's get the hell out of this rabbit hole because most of his movies suck.
I blame you all.
Gone in 60 seconds. Let's ride. Let's ride. Did I do it? Is that the movie, more or less?
Yeah.
They're still making those, so what the hell do I know?
I'm moving on. All right. Yeah, so you guys are all going to be getting tatted, and then we're all going to be celebrating at the parade. Let's keep speaking this into existence. I will say another thing that I like that we haven't talked about is we wanted the Phillies to come in the postseason and stop digging themselves in holes. Remember in the course of the regular season, they had all this remarkable numbers for the amount of games that the Phillies were trailing and came back. Well, in the postseason, the Phillies have done a good job consistently of leading and never trailing, or maybe giving up one run and then coming back. But overall, it's been fun to see the Phillies are starting strong, taking care of business, and not really having those slumps of innings where you see a drop off. So that part, even for me, has been like one of those small victories that are very important, that you never feel like you're playing catch up. It's always been either they're right in it if they are trailing, again, down a run, or they're winning. So Small victories, small victories.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing. But the beauty of this team is even if they do fall behind, which hopefully doesn't happen, I'd much prefer to just have the lead in every single game of every single inning these entire playoffs.
I'd love that.
Much more enjoyable that way for me. But even if they do fall behind, this team has shown you so much this year in terms of resiliency and not being shy of the moment or onions, whatever you want to call it. This team is chock full of it. So even if they do fall behind, we can't give up ever because you know the team is capable of coming back and making a game out of it.
Exactly. So that's been the exciting part for sure. It's been great to see the Phillies have been executing and playing efficiently and consistently, and we hope and expect the same will continue tomorrow as Aaron Nola gets to start. Again, we will be at the ballpark, but also our Game 2 PHLY affiliate ticket winners for our giveaway will be there as well. Hopefully
Tyler's
we'll
new
get
best
to see,
friend.
Yeah. It's Sean is your new best friend.
Yeah, they have the same favorite band, which I've never even heard of.
Sean. That's not Sean. It's not Sean. You're just combining stories. That was never Sean.
I thought that was Sean. I'm sorry, Sean.
Him and Sean, I was going to say, maybe you're manifesting it, that him and Sean will also become friends. Yeah, absolutely. So, John, this team is just awesome. I don't know if you're talking about this team or the Phillies. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're talking about. But this team is just fun to watch. And tomorrow's a new day, another chance to really put ourselves in a good position. We had, obviously, the frustrations of last series, going up 1-0, a chance to go up 2-0. Anytime you can have that insurance and that, extra win of going up 2-0 in any series, you want to make sure you're doing that. You want to make sure you're putting the team away. And so hopefully tomorrow will be that chance to do that. Definitely, we do not give up, Julia.
Ty wants to know what's the band, Tyler? Trivium. Yeah, I have
Do you want me to look them up too?
No, that's all right. It's probably metal,
Sure.
which is not really my scene. That's fine. To each their own. Don't yuck anybody's yum. What was the comment? Can you just scroll up for a second there, Tyler? Onions. That's what I wanted to address. And Greg MC, I believe, cashed on a Schwarber home run odds tonight.
Oh, and we'll talk about how we cashed big time.
Dr. Nighthawk, onions, when you heard me talk about clutchness, is a reference to the great LaSalle University legend, Bill Rafferty, who, when a player in, crunch time makes a big bucket, sometimes will give you an onions, and sometimes an onions double order, which means balls. It's got balls. So.
Oh, I wasn't expecting it to get there.
Yeah, it means balls.
Cojones.
So yes, that's what it's onions.
It's got onions.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
well, hopefully you've got onions enough to go over to FOCO because they might be taking your money. I'm rocking a FOCO.
Yeah, I think my wife purchased one tonight with our code.
Listen, right now, as the Phillies continue winning, we've got to up our merchandise as well because you can't be at the ballpark or watching with your friends with the same shirt on all the time.
Look at me. All right.
Jamie.
Yes. I got to go into my Tupperwares in the attic and get out the 2008 Phillies hoodies. They're not in my. I haven't brought down my fall and winter stuff yet. I need to up my game. So I'll
And if you want to up your game, go over to FOCO. They've got all types of merchandise for you in apparel, bobbleheads, collectibles, hats, you name it. So you can mix up your wardrobe because with that code PHLY, you're getting a nice 10% off discount. I actually wasn't throwing shade at you, but I felt like.
You stopped your read and looked directly at me. So, yeah, it wasn't directed at me at all.
I was just checking to see.
Yeah, who was here? Nobody. Nobody's here, Renee. It's midnight. Let's shoot the shit on the chat is cracking me up. He just saying, he said last time, Bryce Harper's the man. Brian Johnson still sucks. He just hit us with a Brian sucks Johnson. Why he's hung up on Brian Johnson right now? The Eagles season will resume in a couple weeks after the Phillies win the World Series, okay?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Fire Brian Johnson. Come on, people. The Phillies won.
Man. Exactly. We're talking about winning. You're talking about losses. We're talking about winning playoff games here. Come on now. I am definitely micro.
Yeah. I think you started ayahuasca treatments tonight or something. I don't know. You and Aaron Rodgers going into mud huts in the wilderness and finding yourselves. Kyle Schwarber after the game talked about, yes, that is an eraser hood, Big Mike D. You know your beer. Kyle Schwarber after the game was asked about the leadoff home run. And this is wild. He took over the lead in playoff baseball history with leadoff home runs, surpassing Jimmy Rollins and Derek Jeter tonight with 4 leadoff home runs in the postseason. He said the fans were into it, and it really just got the crowd going. You saw the frenzy. It put an extra layer on what the atmosphere was already. The crowd was with us the entire night. It's just really, I mean, you can't say enough about that stadium and that atmosphere. And the players know it, and Zach Gallen knows it. And Merrill Kelly had to sit there on the railing tonight and watch it. You know that's going to be on his mind tomorrow as he gets ready for the game to step out there. It's the best home field advantage in professional sports. I really believe that.
It really, really is. And it definitely makes you a little bit extra nervous if you're Merrill Kelly and, tomorrow it'll be my turn. Tomorrow's going to be wild. As you're talking about Spiral Out, the Flyers home opener tomorrow, game 2 tomorrow, and there's an international game, Mexico, Germany taking place at the Link. So all that going on, I have no idea.
There's going to be 108, by my cracked math calculations, 118,000 people there tomorrow.
I don't know how and
if
where.
If you can, honestly, save yourself the nightmare of getting out of there and try and take the subway or something.
You'd be better off walking.
I hate getting out of a stadium when it's just a Phillies game. When you throw in a Flyers and an international friendly on top of it, because they're expecting 50,000 at Germany, Mexico. The Flyers will be the least amount of people on the evening. But just the thought of getting out of there gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
Well, the other part of that is it's all different fan bases. So if it was a time where you had, I don't know, like I feel like Germany, Mexico is an entirely different fan base for the soccer game. And then Flyers fans aren't.
What are Germany and Mexico fans going to be thinking when they see the Phillies maniacs down there tonight?
I don't know. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of traffic, chaos, and people. And then it's going to be also a mixture. You think about where the tailgating happens for the Phillies games, for example. It's all over the place. So it's going to be a mixture of like Phillies tailgating, Germany, Mexico tailgating, some Flyers folks sprinkled in there. It's going to be just one big party, and it could be very much crazy. So, I'm excited, I think. I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but I feel like the city is going to explode tomorrow because it's wild. And Mike, you're not the only one that wants to say, let's go Flyers. Let's go Flyers.
Yeah, let's go Flyers.
Let's go Flyers. Definitely. They split their first weekend. I mean, coming back home, good chance to win your home opener. Jaime Lindor is going to make an appearance tomorrow, Marshall Lynch is saying. Well, for anybody that does not remember our pregame predictions, Jaime Lindor and Renee Washington, it's weird to speak in third person, we gave our game predictions as well as Tyler Zulli. We were a little bit off, but we were close. And honestly, you were the closest. Oh, no, Tyler was the closest. I'm sorry. Because Tyler was 4-3.
I did the pitcher's duel.
Yes. So these were our pregame predictions.
Okay.
We're going to get to, we'll get to those two actually.
These
are our pregame predictions. I was expecting more runs. And if the Phillies had continued, they were on pace to definitely score 8 runs. You definitely thought it was going to be more of a pitcher's duel. And then Tyler said 4-3 and ended up being 5-3. So,
yeah.
Tyler, you were the closest for sure. But we also cashed in on our best bets in a number of those bets.
Oh, I cashed. I didn't even realize in the first inning, thanks to Bryce Harper, I took his over half an RBI at plus 190, and I had Zach Wheeler over 6.5 Ks. So I had a nice little 2-0
win.
night.
And then I was saying that we were going to get for Zach Gallen under 5.5 strikeouts, check. And then I actually put in for the parlay of the Phillies winning and scoring over 3.5 runs. Check.
And then Tyler had the
don't worry about it.
The loser, no runs in the first inning. And Ketel Marte, did he go under that? It won. Tyler took the over Ketel Marte over 1.5 hits and runs and RBIs.
Yeah.
So 0-2 over there, 4-0 over here. No big deal. We're just trying to give people some money to go waste on Phillies merchandising. As my text chain with my wife was her just wanting to buy everything off of FOCO, any Phillies merchandise she can get. She's been hitting up Etsy artists and got her an all PHLY shirt, which, by the way, you can also get if you head to allphly.com, head down to the locker room. Hopefully, we'll be cranking out some more of these T-shirts, but the Attaboy Harpers are selling. Some people have already gotten theirs. I'm hoping mine's in. I waited because life is chaotic right now, and I waited too long, and hopefully it's here by the end of the week. I wish I had ordered that the day they were hot off the press, but you can get your shirts there. It's a beautiful shirt and one that is going to live forever in Phillies folklore, especially if they win a World Series. Attaboy Harper.
Our producer getting cooked. Martian, you don't miss anything, by the way. Bearded Trey, a.k.a. Tyler Zulli. I already made that connection. For those of you that don't know what our producer Tyler Zulli looks like, look him up. Do a quick search on Twitter. Give him a follow while you're there, too. Trey Turner and Tyler Zulli, TNT, are very similar. And I just think that Tyler is a beard-faced version of Trey. And then also, you definitely are giving Jaime Lindor in your picture, which is actually the only reason I wanted to do our score predictions. I just like looking at the fact. Now that Martian Lynch said it, I can't unsee it. So, yeah,
Fair enough.
Your cousin is on the money.
Yeah, hopefully we can take some of these best bets tomorrow and turn it into some more cold, hard cash on DraftKings because things are heating up at the ballpark. Every team is playing to finish the year strong and make it through the playoffs. The Diamondbacks, it looks like the road's a little bit tougher than the Phillies now, going down 1-0. And with DraftKings, you won't miss a moment of the baseball action. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets by betting just $5 on baseball. All customers can take a crack at a sweet payday with DraftKings same-game parlays. If you listen to Renee and I tonight, a little 4-0 action, you throw that in a parlay, that's a sweet payday. String together multiple bets from a single game for your shot at a major payout. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use that code PHLY. Just don't listen to Tyler. He was 0-2 tonight. He wasn't going to make you any money. Don't listen to him. But tomorrow he'll probably be 2-0, so listen to him then. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets by betting just $5 on baseball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHLY. The crown is yours, and the countdown begins now. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccp.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.com/baseball terms for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Did I do it?
I mean, like, technically.
Yeah. 29. I think my record was 28.
I counted it as, I got 28-28 was actually what I, like, when I hit stop was 28-28, which is very specific.
Yeah, we'll go with a tied the record. I think that just goes to show you that we're all in World Series form here.
All of us.
We're all in championship form. We're all bringing it.
Locked in.
And I'm fearful as my voice is somewhat returning that I'm just going to lose it immediately tomorrow being at the game.
I'm sorry to those that are listening on podcast platforms and I just shrieked in your ear. My sincere apologies. I'm a competitor, so even something as simple as timing your reads is something exciting. I don't know if that's a sad thing or a great thing, but we're just going to let that live there. But yeah, I know Justin was saying, have we seen them in the same spot? I don't know. I haven't seen Trey and Tyler in the same spot. I know
That's a good point.
It's a great. You never know. You never know. Stranger things have happened. Major League Baseball doesn't want both series to go 2-0. Yeah, right now Texas. Okay. Listen, all the series have been very one-sided. So we've seen sweeps and we've seen series go to just one loss, but we haven't seen an elimination game for any of the series at this point. You know, it's wild to think of every single series in the playoffs right now have been clearly dominated by one team.
Yeah, and John Blaze, the butthurt Braves fan, was in the chat earlier saying, I guess Phillies fans are happy now that you don't have to see the Astros. Actually, I think it's the opposite.
Because we see what's happening in the Astros
yeah,
right
because
now.
the Texas Rangers are rolling. So I know Yordan Alvarez is nasty and killed us last year, but I don't know. I think I'd almost rather see the Astros right now than the Rangers because they look like to be a tough out. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that there, John Blaze. I think I'd rather see the Astros and get a little revenge.
Yeah. I don't know who I burned with my comment. How did I burn Mr. Krabs? I don't know. But either way, yeah, I don't know who I'd want to see right now because the way Texas is playing, and we were watching that game earlier, it's a little scary over there. But let's focus on this series first. And I know one person's got to be really thrilled with how today went, and that's the Bowman on Twitter, because I stumbled onto a tweet where he put in a total wager of $5, waged that Kyle Schwarber would hit a home run, Bryce Harper would hit a home run, and Nick Castellanos would hit a home run.
Well, we told you Suzanne Summers died. That one part was a lock.
We knew that was going to happen once Suzanne passed away. And we also were talking about Kyle Schwarber overdue for a leadoff home run, or just a home run in general. And Bryce, it being his birthday, we were all expecting him to go yard today. So check. And this man won $714.86
on a $5 Damn.
Same game parlay.
That can buy a lot of Attaboy Harper t-shirts on allphly.com.
Yeah. And I know, Spiralot, you just got your t-shirt. You could have many more t-shirts if you win a deal like this. So, yeah, it's sometimes we're very accurate, and it's been more times than none that we've been accurate on this show. So if you need some assistance in helping to place those best bets, you can trust us. But what a day it's been. Game 1, NLCS, Phillies won. Game 1, Phillies won. We definitely we're feeling optimistic going into today. Can now breathe a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
We can sigh a heavy, breath of relief, knowing that, okay, took care of business. One down.
Yeah, I mean, if you take care of tomorrow night, it's lights out for the Diamondbacks. I really think it's that big with Aaron Nola on the mound. Ranger Suarez, I have complete confidence in. Somebody said JT plays better on the road anyway. I think it was Kyle. Fair point. He gets away from the 4 kids and maybe actually can sleep because I, for one, am not looking forward to being woken up at 5:45 or 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Okay. So I get it, man. Yeah. I get it. But yes, I just think that Aaron Nola performance tomorrow is huge, and you can just put your absolute foot on their throats and more or less mentally end them. I know it's a 7-game series now, blah, blah, blah. You got to win 4 games. It's going to go. But if you go up 2-0 at home versus their 2 best pitchers, and let's not sugarcoat it, there is a steep fall off from starter 2 to number 3 and 4. The Phillies have the advantage. Ranger Suarez, to Tyler's point in the pregame show, is the difference maker here in this series. If you get there up 2-0, Ranger gives you a huge advantage. And then Chase Field. Yeah, I don't think the Phillies are going to be intimidated playing there. It's a cute hot tub, though.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, look, it's one thing to have to come back after being down 1. It's another thing when you're down 2 games. And especially against a team like the Phillies, as we've all known, talked about, and seen, that is also a steep climb the other direction of trying to play catch up to see if you can tie the series up. So it definitely is important to have, for the mental component, as you mentioned, Jamie, that separation that you're going to Arizona up 2-0. Now you've got confidence. You've had a chance to win both games at home in front of your fans. With wins comes now celebrations. You're in front of your fans, your family. Everyone in the clubhouse is extra excited versus when you have a loss and now you're, overanalyzing every little thing that led to the loss. So if they can continue to play tomorrow, close out tomorrow with a win and head on the road up 2-0, you like your chances that much more. So I know we have more to talk about, of course, leading into Game 2 as we are previewing the matchup, looking at the playoff bracket, looking at just, our bets and predictions. But today, like we said, it's been a fun one. You know, hopefully we'll be able to hop in their pool, hot tub, whatever it is, out in Arizona, feeling good and victorious, Jamie, as we
there's no way Diamondbacks fans aren't peeing in that thing. I'm not jumping in that hot tub. I don't care how much chlorine they're putting in there.
People always pee in the pool.
Yeah, I know.
You can't have there's no pool without pee.
It's a sad reality, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't jump in that hot tub. That's nasty.
I also wouldn't jump in it the way they did because I don't think it was like making me a little nervous. It's like not that big. And
then there's
like
seats under the water.
Yeah, and I'm like, that hurts if you hit one of those. I was kind of cringing watching the celebrations. It's nothing like our celebrations, but that's cute and all. Let's go splash in the pool.
Yeah, 20 hours
pool.
to first pitch already, Eugene Krabs.
So on that note, I think it's a great time to go to bed. It's getting pretty late. It's past midnight. I know somebody said Cassie's out there revving the engine of his Ghost Rider bike. We'll see what happens as we prepare for tomorrow's game. As we've got to break it down. We've got to talk it through. So thank you guys for tuning in. Jamie, anything before we wrap up?
Not that we haven't already said. Go Phillies. Go Aaron Nola. Just get it done tomorrow. I mean, let's take care of business.
Yes, get the Speedos
7
ready.
7 more, Topper.
There it is. Get the Speedos ready. 7 more and 1 tomorrow where you can make things a lot easier winning at home. So for us here at PHLY Phillies Podcast, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, follow. We've got more content coming your way heading into Game 2, so stay tuned for that, dropping across our social media and YouTube channels and everything. And as always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, having fun with us on the show, and looking forward to 7 more, Topper. Good night, guys. Go Phils.
We all silly like the mayor.